Welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself, Assistant Professor Sunil Shah. Today I will be covering up the topic called the cyber threats, which is there in the subject called legal securities and law related to e-commerce, which is there in the MCom e-commerce class of the semester 4, which is there in unit 4. The topic, as I said, is the cyber threats. What are the different types of threats which are and how to deal it under cyber security. Students, you are aware many types of threats are also available whenever we do the online transaction, whether it be related to uploading of the documents or would be downloading of any of the images or downloading of any of the research paper or any of the uploading of the GST files or income tax returns, or whenever you do the online transaction also, there would be unknowingly or knowingly cyber threats we would be landing up, and we should know that particular knowledge, and so hence I am covering up this particular topic called cyber threats under this topic called cyber security. The cyber or cyber security threat is a malicious act, that is an act which is done intentionally to spoil the damage the computer or spoiling up to the reputation of the company or of the individuals, that seeks to damage the data, steal the data, taking out the information from that particular system, disrupting the digital life in general. That means if anything happens to that particular system which is going up, and if there is a threat or malicious act is being introduced by some other party, then they will slow down that particular system and whole system would be coming into standstill. Cyber threat includes computer viruses, data breaches. What do you mean by breaches? Breaches means breaking. Data means the breaking the law related to the information or the digital contract. Breaching means breaking of the contract. Here, since we are into internet era, that was breaking of the information or breaking of the terms and conditions laid by the person who is giving that particular information. So breaking of that contract terms digital would be called as data breach. Denial of service, DDoS attacks and other attacks are also coming into the topic called cyber threat. Example, malware is a software that does malicious tasks on the device or network, such as corrupting data or taking of the control of the system. So malware is a software that it does a malicious tasks on the device or network, such as corrupting our data or taking the control of the system. So the students, this particular type of cyber attack we should be getting protected. Coming to the next important type is what do you mean by cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a practice of defending computers, servers, mobile data device, electronic system, networks and data from malicious attack. Students, you are aware many people are not using the desktops, they are not using the laptops, they may be using through that particular iPhone or through that particular the cell phone, they are doing the transaction, they are doing the sending and getting the information through the emails through from the mobile. Hence this mobile security is also very important. Coming to the servers, the server security is also important. Coming to the electronic system, as I said in my unit 3 lecture, that is LAN, MAN and WAN. This type of networks servers has to be protected, hence it is a need for cyber security. It is also known as information technology security or the electronic information security. So cyber security would be called as information technology security or electronic information security. The term applies to the variety of context from the business to the mobile computing and can be divided into few common categories. So you are aware whenever we do any type of transaction through cell phone or through the desktop or through the laptop or any of the electronic system, it would be coming into the terms called information technology security, or it will be called as cyber security. Coming to the evolution of cyber security, the Internet of the Things, individual device that connects to the internet or other network offers access point for the hackers. So hackers would be taking that particular information from the buyer and the seller or from the receiver to the sender. Hackers who successfully compromise a connected home not to gain the access of the user Wi-Fi credentials but may gain access to the data such as medical records, bank statement or website login information. Those who are unethical hackers, they have that particular information, they go into the system and crack that system and they steal the data. So it's better advisable to keep the password protected. Whatever the information which has been given from one person to another person should be leak proof, so that there should be proper use of private keys and the public keys. Coming to the next point about the explosion of the data. Data storage on the device such as laptop and cell phone makes it easier for the cyber attackers to find the entry point in the network through the personal device. So whenever you have that particular RAM size or the storage size, you should update and keep it in this separate folder, so that, and with the password protected, so that the hackers cannot directly go into it. For example, in May 2019, exploding data, reclaiming our security, cybersecurity in the digital age, the former US Secretary of the Home and Security, Michael Setoff, warns that previous exposure of individual person information which has become increasing vulnerable to this cyber attacks. So that US Home Secretary in 2019 was aware that the personal information, that the medical records, the bank statements, or any of the information which is stored in the laptops or the storage of the mobile, that can be leaked and can be easily transferred. When you give your laptop for that particular person for repairing, or if you give your mobile for the repairing, that particular person may send that information to the hackers, and your vital information would be spoiled. Types of cyber threats, as I told a few slides back, malware is known as the malicious code or malicious software. Malware is a program inserted in the system to compromise the confidentiality, integrity, or the validity of the data. So this type of cyber threat is there. Many people will give the vital information to that particular cookies which has been sent by the hackers, and if you get that particular information, they will be stored into their records. Ransomware prevents the limit of the user for accessing their system via malware. Ransom asks you to pay ransom using online payment methods to regain the access to your system or data. So there may be call from some other person, they will be asking out to share the information, and if you share the information, then your breaches of the contract would be with the bank would be done, and you would be landing into troubles. Next type of cyber security is that DDoS, that is called distributed denial of the service attacks, may attack an online service unavailable by overwhelming it with excessive traffic from many locations and sources. So whenever there is an offers going on by any of the persons, whenever there is a game which is any people are playing, and when there is a system of lottery, or they would be providing some information that you play with this game and you would be winning the jackpot, such type of things where the response is more, the data information which has been provided by the person who sends the information, and the receiver keeps the data and may misuse that particular data. Spam and phishing includes unwanted, unsolicited, or undesirable messages and emails. Phishing is a form of social engineering, including attempts to get sensitive information. So in the cyber attack called phishing, you may think that is the message has been sent from the ethical person, but it would be from unethical person. Spam includes unwanted, unsolicited, or undesirable messages from the emails. So there are chances that these persons, if they are not having that particular information to be related to the law of information technology, they may land into troubles by providing the vital information. Coming to the next point, that is cyber safety tips. Protect your against the cyber attacks. Update your software and operating system. So the first and foremost information which I want to provide to the students who are learning cybersecurity or the cyber threat is that you should protect yourself against the cyber attack. That means you should update your software against and the operating system. This means that benefit from the latest security patches. Use antivirus software. Security solution like Kaspersky, Total Security will detect and remove the threats. Keep your software updated for the best level protection. Besides Kaspersky, there would be many other softwares which will protect the system as well as the different types of files which were downloaded. Next part is the use of strong passwords. The advice from my side is that you should use that combination of a numerical upper lower case as well as some type of hash functions, and should keep this particular the password protected and should not give it to any of the person, whoever may be. Do not open the emails attachment of the unknown senders. This could infect with the malware. So when you download, the vital information will be going to some other person. Coming to the next point is cyber safety tips. Protect yourself against these cyber attacks. Do not click on the links or emails from the unknown senders or unfamiliar websites. This is common way that malware is spread. Avoid using unsecure Wi-Fi networks in the public places. Unsecure networks leave you vulnerable to the man in the middle of the attack. So when you are doing some transactions and using the Wi-Fi from the hotels or from the railway stations or any of the particular places where the Wi-Fi is free, there would be other persons, maybe the person who would be taking the vital information and would be storing into it. As you are aware, as I said into this things, that you are not supposed to touch, download unwanted links which has been sent. When a person is taking loan from the bank and he wants to when he is repaying his EMI, sometimes he may get the messages that please pay the loan amount or the EMI, but the person, before clicking to that link or sending the money, he should doubly check whether this particular mail or the link which has been received from the bank is an authorized bank or unauthorized. So go deep into it before downloading or paying to that particular person. Next is, where do cyber threat comes from? Hostile nation states. National Cyber Warfare Program provide emerging cyber threats ranging from propaganda, website defamation, espionage, disruption from the key infrastructure to the loss of life. So peoples who are doing this type of mischief, they are white collar criminals. They know that particular things and they may use type of information so that the person would be victimized. Terrorist group are increasing using cyber attacks to the damage of the national interest. So they are experts. They go into the websites of the government and they try to attack that particular website and take the vital information. Coming to the next point of the cyber threat, why do cyber threats come from? It comes from activities. Those hackers who are unethical, those who are not getting the license or unethical hackers, they will go deep into the system. They will study that particular terms and conditions of the contract. If one of the companies stated in USA and other companies stated in India, they would be going into that particular terms and condition. They will keep themselves silent for 6 months or 7 months till everything they are doubly sure when to do the attack and when that particular person would be victimized for that particular offense. Activities range from political ideals and issues. Most activities groups are concerned with the spreading propaganda rather than damaging infrastructure with the disrupting services. Disgruntled insiders are common source of cybercrime. Insiders often do not need a high degree of computer knowledge to expose to sensitive data because they may be authorized to access the data. So there are some persons who are inside the system, they take the vital information and we may have that trust on that particular person, but would be leading into mistrust. Coming to the next point is that the concluding part of the cyber threat. Like a sniper, the most dangerous cybersecurity threats are ones you never see coming. As and when the technology is increasing, the cyber threats are also increasing. As the cybersecurity threats continues to evolve and become more sophisticated enterprises, IT must remain vigilant and when it comes to protecting the data and the networks. So the government, whether it is Indian government or any of the governments, they should do necessary actions to prevent this type of cyber threats, and they should get there should be awareness program so that those persons who are those who are hacking that particular website, they should be come into that particular danger zone that if they do such type of mischief, they won't be protected. Thank you from my side.